Screen frozen. So I don't know if you guys can see my screen right now, but it's showing that I am live on YouTube. So I don't know what you're looking at. Yep, okay. I just confirmed it. We're on. We're live on YouTube. Cool. YouTube video is up. Perfect. All right, now that we got through the technical bit, let me go ahead and YouTube can't see me though. My camera's not on YouTube. Sorry, boys. Let me just get this up for the first time and then we should be good to go. Yeah, for some reason my camera's not pulling up on YouTube, but it's fine. I'm gonna start anyways. I guess YouTube people just not gonna have to see me. But go ahead. All right. Live is gonna be up on YouTube. Live is gonna be posted. Yes, the replay should be posted. It's all getting recorded right now as we speak. But I'm literally just gonna start right now. So boom. All right, so I put together this visual right here. This is the very first thing we're gonna walk through. All right, I'm gonna explain. I know I obviously explained it a little bit in the video for you guys. If you watched it, I'm sure a bunch of you guys already watched it right now. But basically, this is what we're gonna be doing right here. Okay, we are gonna start by using a web scraper. This is a web scraper that we're gonna be doing inside of Google Maps. So the way that this is gonna work is literally just like this. We're gonna start with a scraping system, and that's gonna be Apify. Okay, so we're gonna use Apify to basically scrape all of the information that belongs to these local businesses, and this is gonna be the very first thing that we're gonna sign up for. The second thing that we're gonna do is gonna be Anymail Finder. So this is gonna be an account. This is the service that we're gonna use to actually find the email addresses of the people that belong to those businesses. So this is going to be the name of that service. So there's going to be two so far. It's going to be Apify and there's going to be Anymail Finder. So that's going to be this Google Maps scraping. It's going to be Apify and then Anymail Finder for the email discovery. So the emails that we're going to be scraping, all of that stuff, we're going to store it somewhere. That somewhere is going to be a Google Sheet for now. Obviously, this doesn't just have to be Google Sheet. This could be really anywhere you want to use. If you want to use Airtable or something like that. But for now, just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to keep it at Google Sheets. And then you're going to have the actual AI that we're going to use. So in that very first video that I went over, I showed you guys how to use through DeepSeek. We're literally going to do the exact same thing that we did with DeepSeek, except it's going to be with ChatGPT's OpenAI. So I'm going to show you how to sign up for that, how to get the API key and all that stuff. We're going to do it all from scratch. And then the very final thing that we're going to need is going to be Gmail. So here is pretty much the stack that we're going to be working with right now. It's going to be Gmail, GPT, Sheets, Anymail Finder, and Apify. Now, before we actually start creating these accounts, I want to show you guys a little bit into um, a little bit of a cost behind this. Okay, so this is going to be the cost that we're going to use to actually run all of this. Not everything here is 100% free, though it is super, super cheap. First one I'm going to cover is going to be Apify here. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to pretend like I'm in your guys' shoes. There's a brand new Gmail that I created, and it's called Testing Man. Let me see, 397 at Gmail. I'm gonna log into it and I'm literally gonna pretend like I'm in your shoes right now. I'm gonna sign up to everything from the beginning so that way you guys can see it from the beginning. We're gonna start with Applify, obviously. So if you're on Google, oh, what the hell's going on? Let me jump back one more time. One more. So we're gonna add account. Let's see. Testing man 397@gmail.com. The purpose of this is literally to show you guys how it looks like from the very get-go, from the beginning. Not now. So this is a brand new empty account. Skip, cancel. We don't need any of this. First platform is going to be Applify. If I can spell it right. Right. What this is a web scraping service. This is what's going to allow us to actually go through and use a bunch of scrapers to target these scrapers and pull a bunch of data from public places. Now, it doesn't have to be just Google. This could be literally anywhere. But the one that we're going to sign up for, we're going to use is going to be the one for Google, because that's going to be the source for all the scraping that we're going to be doing. Here, I'm going to click Get Started at the very top. And then I'm going to click Continue with Google just to make this easier. And I'm going to click my email, continue. I'm just going to sign up very quickly that way. And then we're just going to do some, actually, we're not even, if we can skip it, we're just going to skip it. So just like that, at this point, we are signed up to Applify. Let me jump back into this guy right here. And the very next thing that we're going to have to do is going to be AnyMail Finder. So I'm going to pull this up real quick for you guys. Let's see. Right, so obviously AnyMail Finder, at this point, what this thing does is you feed it a domain, and what it outputs is the emails of the people that belong to that domain. So in that video that I showed you guys earlier, this is what I was using. This is the exact service. Now, I already have an account signed up with them, so I'm not going to sign up from the very beginning. I'm literally just going to log into the one that I already have just for this one, because I already bought the credits, I already purchased it. But everything going forward from here, you would be doing the same. And this is not a necessary step at this stage. You actually don't even need to verify these emails and enrich them, but we're going to do that anyways. I'm going to show you guys what that's going to look like here. Let me jump back. And then here, I'm going to show you my AnyMail Finder. Now let's just go over pricing, by the way, a little bit, because I know you guys are going to want to do this. So you're going to have these credits right here. The way that these credits work is every verified email that it gets pulled is going to be a credit. You're not going to have to use every single credit, because sometimes it's going to pull partially verified emails. What that means is it finds an email of somebody, but it's not 100% sure. It's like a 70% rate that this email actually is usable and exists. It's going to give you that one for free. But other than that, it's basically 1 credit per 1 email that we're going to find. And here is the plan that you're going to do. So just for testing, what you can do is sign up for that 14 and do the 50 credits for once, and then you can cancel it after that. But it's not even a necessary step. This is something that's really additional. You can actually build a system without this right now, which if you're building with me right now, what I want you to do is actually build it without doing this step. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump back inside of, let's see here. Oh wait, I was already in there. Let me go ahead and just log in. I'm gonna click go to app, and you can see this is my account right here. I have 24,000 credits. So this is what I'm working with at this point. Now let's go back to this dashboard here, and we need Google Sheets. So I'm gonna go back and just create a brand new Sheets, and you can create a brand new one by just typing in sheets.new in any tab. I forgot we're actually on the new account. Let me go ahead and do this on the new account as well. Sheets.new, and boom, just like that. So I'm gonna name this Google Sheet real quick. We're gonna name it, let's say YouTube. Oh, this is not where you name it. We're gonna name this guy YouTube testing right here. And boom, so we have that Google Sheet at this point. I'm gonna jump back into it and see what we got next. GPT. So the way that we're going to use GPT, and I'm sure you probably paid attention inside of those videos, is we're not going to be using it the same way that everybody wants to use it by just going to their website. We are going to generate something called an API key. This is how we're going to be able to use GPT in a way that lets us use it from a developer perspective by having that little key that essentially sends all this stuff to GPT as it does the stuff that it needs to do and then sends the responses back to us. The way you're going to do this is you're going to go to this link that I'm going to show you right now. It is called platform.openai.com. Now, this is going to be the developer platform for using ChatGPT Brain from the backend, right? This is the way how people use it inside of automations and inside of any system that they're going to want to build around GPT. What we're going to do is literally click sign up, and I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to click sign up with Google. I'm going to click my account, click continue, and then here, type in name. So we're just going to do testing 2000. Let's go ahead and say 2000. And boom, it's going to ask us for a bunch of information. Let's say not technical, create. I'll invite later. So immediately it's literally asking you to generate that API key. This is what we need. This is the very, very first thing that we need. And by the way, if I'm moving too fast, let's see. If I'm moving too fast, you guys got to let me know. Because I'm looking at some of the comments here, and I just want to make sure I'm not moving too quickly. Let's see, chat. And by the way, I know a bunch of guys is gonna be like, "Oh, is this gonna be recorded?" I'm gonna record all this stuff anyways, but I'm just gonna wait a few minutes, let some guys catch up. Can't see the screen. What's going on with YouTube? Can't see the other screen. Can't see the other screen. Oh, I got it. I know why. Sorry about that, folks. Video. It's because I'm doing. Let's see. Display capture. Display capture. All right. I just fixed it, folks. Sorry about that. Let me see. Oh wait, I did this in the wrong place for sure. Display capture. Okay. All right, YouTube should be fixed right now. I just fixed YouTube. Sorry about the delay, folks. That OpenAI screen is not showing. Okay, same thing on Instagram. I just fixed it. Should be fixed right now. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to see if it's fixed, and then we'll go forward. Let's see. Let me know, guys. Can you guys see it now? Okay. My bad, folks. It's a little bit of a delay. I know it's probably gonna sound. It's probably gonna be like way too long on your screen, but I just wanted to verify, make sure we're all good. Anyways, we should be good to go. So, let me go back, make sure this is caught, because apparently you guys didn't see this. So, all right, cool. We're gonna go to platform.openai.com, and then at this point, what I'm gonna do is literally what I did. I guess, it already created the account. I can't really recreate it, but you just click sign up with Google. And at this point, click your Google account, and then it should take you to this exact screen right here, or it should take you to a screen that's like generate an API key. So what you're going to want to do at this point is, oh, fixed on IG. Sorry, it is not fixed on Instagram apparently. 1 second. All right, should be fixed on Instagram now. Good to go. So what you're gonna want to do at this point is literally at the bottom left corner, or sorry, not the bottom left, the top right corner, you're gonna see this settings icon. Here on the settings icon, we're gonna click the settings, and then you're gonna see API keys at the bottom left. This is gonna be the key that you're using to use GPT programmatically inside of that automation. So I'm gonna click API keys here, and we don't have anything created. What you're gonna want to do is at this point generate a new key. However, before generating a new key, there's a small cost to using GPT in the backend, and that's what I'm gonna break down to you guys right now. So if I go to OpenAI model pricing, what you're gonna see is basically each model has specific token pricing. The way this pricing works is based on tokens. So what are tokens, right? Take it like this. Each 1,000 words is 750 tokens. So when I look at this brand new GPT-5 model right now, you're gonna see this GPT-5 mini. And when I'm looking at this, I see, okay, 25 cents per 1 million tokens. What that says to me is literally 25 cents for 1 million. And if you break it down, every 1,000 tokens is 750 words. This is immense for the amount that we have to pay for input. This is words going into the model. As for words going out of it, it's going to be $2 for the 1 million tokens. So all in all, you're paying $2.25 for 1 million tokens to use GPT-5 minis model. This is ridiculously cheap. This is so cheap. What you're going to do at this point is load up your account with credits. It's going to be $5 worth. If you follow through with the DeepSeek video, you should already have some credits inside of DeepSeek, which in this case, what I'm going to do is literally cover how that looks like inside of that platform. So just because I know some people already spent $5, I don't want them to spend one more time. At this point, you're literally going to go do the same thing. You're going to go to DeepSeek. No, sorry. It is platform.deepseek. So this is going to be the link that you're looking for. It's platform.deepseek.com. We're going to click inside of it. And here, you're going to be able to generate that same key. I'm just going to log into my account because I got logged out. And let's see, continue. Boom. So you're at this point. What you're going to do is at the top left, click on API keys. And then you're going to be able to see all your keys here. You can create a new API key, give it a name. It doesn't really matter. Since I'm already here, I'm literally just going to, use a DeepSeek key. It literally does not matter. We're just going to say YouTube test, create API key. So this key right here, boys, you want to store this, you want to save it aside. You don't want to show anybody this key because this key is how you're going to be able to, use the billing that you put in. Now, obviously, anybody watching this stream right now could probably take this key and use up my my $1.73 that I have here. Please don't do that. But anyways, this key is going to be how you were going to use that model. So I'm going to jump back and I'm literally going to put it inside of a note on the side. And then I'm just going to pop it in here to use later. And let's see here. Let's go back. So that's that pricing for that. Okay. And Gmail obviously is free. We don't have to pay anything. So we just cover this. So so far, let me look at the chat. Let me see. Is there any where we go from OpenAI black code screen? Black code screen. What is black code screen on OpenAI? I'm not sure what that is. Let me see. If you're doing the OpenAI version, what you're gonna want to do at this point is settings, and then on the left side, API keys, create new secret key. I'm not sure if I answered that question correctly, but yeah, this is where you. I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat as well at the same time. But here's where you generate that. Let's go back to this. So we got our Applify. This is an email finder. We're not going to use it yet. We got our Google Sheet where we're going to be storing that information. And then here we generated our key. Cool. Let's see. So this is that automation. What it looks like here is just a quick breakdown. I'm going to show you guys basically what each section is and how each section works. This very first section right here is broken down into this, and I know I kind of went over it inside of the video, but I'm just go over it one more time in case anybody didn't get to see that bit. This Applify is going to be scraping that Google Maps, and then we're going to use another Applify module. It's called Get Dataset Items to extract that information, and then we're going to use Google Sheet for storage, Email Finder for finding. Boom, done. Now, at this point, these three routes that you saw are basically the exact same. The very first route, the one at the very top, here's what it does. If an email exists, it has and a person's first name is found in that route, it's going to write directly to that person. So it's going to look at this email and it's going to find their name. If an email if an email does exist and a first name is not found, then the AI is going to write to the team, is going to address it to the team. And that's going to be the second route right here. And then for the third one, if no email exists at all, only the website is found, then we're going to still write that, but we're just going to save it and store it aside because obviously we can't send them an email if they don't have a domain. That's basically the differences between these three paths that you're seeing right here. Here's a little bit of a breakdown into what each one does. So this module, this HTTP module, it goes to the website and it pulls all of the HTML from it. And then this thing cleans it up. It removes all the extra junk around it and just gives us clean HTML. Here we're going to store our service description. And then this guy shortens the company's name. If it's too long, this guy is going to analyze that website. It's going to analyze our service and write a personalized draft. And this guy's going to finalize it and we're going to throw it inside of the Google Sheet. Very, very quick rundown. So our actions so far, sign up for all the platforms. We just did that. That should be done. Go ahead and just mark this. Let's see here. Cool. Now collect the API keys. We just got that. Now, this next bit right here is probably going to be, the only annoying bit out of this entire build right here. Because we're using Gmail, because we're using Google, the way we connect Google inside of our workflow automation platform is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to show you guys how that works fully right now. I'm going to go back to the account and we're going to be using make.com. So I'm literally going to go to make.com. I'm going to sign up for this real quick. Also, brand new account. Get started for free. We're going to do sign up with Google and we're going to click on the same account, continue. Now, folks, if you haven't heard of make.com, it's just like N8N or Power Automate. It's a workflow automation platform. That's all it is. And when you first sign up for the very first time, they're going to give you 1,000 operations completely for free. This is more than enough for us to actually do the testing that we're going to be doing. So if you haven't signed up so far, this is where you're going to want to be, but I'm sure a bunch of you guys already signed up ahead of time. Let's see here. So when you're inside of this dashboard, you're gonna click on, so let me click the drop down side dashboard. Here is where you're gonna be able to see your usage. So you can see like operations per month, 1,000. This is completely, brand new. I just got it. And here it tells you how many unused you have left. So obviously we're at 1,000 right now. We have nothing used. What I'll do at this point is I'm going to pull up the make.com automation inside of my other make.com account. This is what I'm going to do. We can actually download these automations by clicking this three dot right here, and then we can export them out. So just for simplicity's sake, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to export this blueprint so that way we can have a file. I'm going to show you how to do imports right now, just so that way you can understand this functionality. Because later what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to give you guys these files so that way you can actually import them into your make.com scenario. So click on scenarios and then click on create a scenario at the top. And then here on the bottom, you're going to see those three little dots. When you have the file that I'm going to give to you guys, click the three dots and then click import blueprint. And here you're going to literally select that same thing we just downloaded from the documents and then click save. And look at that. The entire thing just loaded with its configuration, with absolutely every single thing that we put inside of it. This is the really, really cool thing about all the stuff that we build. It's modular and you can share it, you can import it. So what I'm gonna do is literally, let's see here. I'm gonna delete all of this because we're gonna build it from scratch. And but I will have it on another screen just for reference. So that way I can look at it and see what it is we got to do. See. Boom. So I'm going to jump into Apify right now because that's going to be the very first thing that we're going to tackle. Inside of Apify, what you're going to want to do is we're going to search for this Google Maps scraper. This is the one that we're using. It should be at the very forefront if you just sign up for Apify. If not, you can search for Actors and you can search for Google Maps scraper. It's going to be the first one. But what these things called, these are called Actors. The reason why they're called Actors is because they are pretty much scrapers built by the Apify community. People can use them and actually run these things. We're going to connect this inside of our make.com automation platform, but this is where the configuration is going to be for everything that I showed you guys. So inside of make.com, we're going to create a new scenario, and the very first module we're going to search for is going to be, let's look it up right here. It's going to be Apify, right? What we have a few different options right here. You can either run the actor inside of Apify and have a module that watches when that actor runs and then pulls all the data when it runs. Or you can run it directly inside of make.com. So what we're going to do is we're going to click run an actor right here, and we're going to create our connection into the Apify account that we just created. So far, so good. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing any comments. Will this live be saved on YouTube? Yes. All right, we're good. Create a connection. What's the connection type? Well, it's going to be Apify recommended. Cool. We're going to click save. And at this point, it's going to bring up this screen where we're going to log into our Apify account. So we're going to click sign in with a different account just because I don't want it to use this guy. I'm going to click continue with Google. And then I'm going to use the same. Oh, why is it not letting me? Continue with Google. I guess we're stuck. Testing, man. Okay. Maybe this is it. Oh, it is it. Sorry. This is literally it. I'm just going to click on my account here. And I'm going to click allow access. And this is what's going to link it. So now, boom, we're done. That connection right here is finished. What we're going to do is jump back inside of Apify. And then I'm going to explain to you guys how this scraper works. Basically, this is using locations inside of the Google Maps. And you can see right here, Apify in the beginning when you first sign up, they give you at the bottom left, if you guys can see, $5 for free to use, and they give you 8 gigabytes of RAM to run this scraper. This is running on some remote server and it's doing these jobs. This is more than enough for you guys to do what we need to do, especially with this $5. You see, you get $4 for 1,000 places using the scraper, which is very, very good. And at this point, what we're gonna do is do the configuration here. One quick thing before we do the configuration is everything that we configure here is actually going to show up in another view that we can toggle, which is called the JSON view. So I explained JSON a little bit. I told you guys this is really how systems talk to each other. But basically, like, this is what we're going to need in the end once we finish the manual configuration that we do inside of here. So I'm going to show you guys if I change this from restaurant to the word plumber, and then I switch back to JSON view, look at this. The where is it? Why can I not scroll? Oh, there it is. The word inside of the string that's gonna get searched, it literally changed to plumber. So every change we make in the manual easy view is gonna get reflected here. What I'm gonna do right now is make all the changes that we need to make, and then I'm going to copy this JSON from here and then paste it inside of this bad boy inside of this field. First, though, we have to do a very quick test to make sure that the actor shows up. So if you're following me along with me at this point, I'm going to click save and start. I know we did no configurations, but as soon as I do that, it's going to run the actor, and then I'm going to click abort immediately. We're not going to run the actual job. The reason why we do that is because when we go back to make.com, this actor is not going to show up until you run it for the first time once. So I'm going to click this drop down right now. And because I ran this actor, let me go back and make sure this is done. So actors recently used. Look at this. It just showed up right now. If you tried to pull this drop down before you just ran it, this actor is not going to show up at all. So you're going to want to click this. And now we have, look at this. This is literally the JSON from that actor. Here, we have full control over it. So what we're going to do is literally go in here and do all the changes that we want. And then we're going to copy that JSON and paste it inside of this field at this point. So go back and then let's say, I'm looking for plumbers. Location, say New York, USA. This is going to be specific to your location. I don't know what location you guys want to scrape. I don't know why this popped out. But what you're going to want to follow is this specific schema at this point. If you click on the question mark, it tells you how you're supposed to write it. So it says use free text, simpler formats work, use the city plus country rather than city plus country plus state. This is according to their documentation. This is what we're going to want to follow. So I'm just going to, let's go ahead and change this. I'm going to say Chicago, USA. Here, I'm going to say 10 just for testing. Language is going to be English. Here we have some advanced features that you can actually go and make sure this search is deeper. So if you wanted to filter based on place category, you can do that inside of this field right here, right? You have different drop downs based on what kind of business that is. So you have there's so many different ones. Banks, let's see here. Some of these, I don't even know why they're on here. But if you're looking for lawyers, you're going to want to make sure this category is set to lawyers. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to pull all the businesses that are listed as lawyers inside of Google. You can also filter by minimum star ratings. So imagine you're building an automation for somebody where, you need any location inside of that industry that is only 3.5 stars or 4 stars and up. Then you can set that filter here and the scraper is only going to pull the locations from that star rating. And then you can also skip places without a website. Because we have a section inside of our automation that says, let me pull it up right here, that says only go through this path if a website exists. I'm not going to toggle that one off. I still want to pull locations with no website at all. I still want to generate it. It doesn't take much for us to generate that. So go back. I'm going to leave this. And then all these different metadata points here. Let's see, additional place detail scraping. So you can scrape place detail page. You can scrape table reservations. You can go super deep into all these different locations. To be honest, guys, most of this stuff I only configure based on the specific project itself. So if I have no reason to include details about table reservations, I'm not going to use this unless I'm trying to aim for restaurants, right? Or the automation specifically detailed for needing, reservation data. Same thing with, let's see, images. Do we want to scrape images? There's a specific charge on top of that. I don't really see that being a thing. Let's see here. Define this search area by geolocation parameters. You can actually define a little bit deeper, even by postal code here. So you can do custom searches via postal code, via specific county, via state, via city. All this is, I don't know, this keeps happening. All this is, of course, is optional. It's listed as optional. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. And let's see here. Run options. This is going to be your actual server's resources, how much resources it's using when it's running. You're not going to touch this 90% of the time unless you actually have an idea about the scrape job that you want. So I'm going to leave this, default as it is right now. And then I'm going to jump back and say, say we want plumber, Chicago 10, English. All right, we're going to leave this all. Cool. I'm going to go to JSON view. So at this point, is the Apify. Oh, too quick. Let me see. Is the Apify website content crawler? Yes, this is. So Apify is a marketplace for scraping. You can actually not just scrape Google. You can scrape Instagram. You can scrape TikTok. You can scrape websites. You can scrape Amazon. You guys can see the potential in having these scrapers because you can lead them down to downstream automations that you can build for like e-commerce, for website scraping, for newsletters, for data gathering from databases. You can do so many different things inside of it. There's many different actors here. So like say I wanted to do something inside of LinkedIn, I can just search for LinkedIn and then you're going to be able to find a bunch of different scrapers for LinkedIn. This one has 13K people, 3.7. But look at this. This is a job scraper for LinkedIn. You can use this to scrape, to create an automation that maybe does something inside of LinkedIn jobs, maybe finding jobs or applying to them. This is for, agencies that actually deal with hiring. So if you're building for something with hiring, then this is going to be maybe one of the actors that you're going to use. You're going to want to explore this on your own. There's so many different scrapers that, you know, generally it's not hard. It's very hard to cover inside of one video. That's the thing I'm trying to say. So I'm going to copy this whole JSON at this point. You low-key lost me, Anmar, but we're going to watch this back. Okay, let me put some time for a very quick questionnaire. I know I feel like I'm moving a little bit fast, but any questions that I can take real quick inside of this? Because I know there's probably a lot to go over. Let's see. And also, there's a little bit of a delay, so that's kind of why if it takes a little bit longer, I'm trying to see if there's anything that pops up. Someone said I'm caught up. Okay. All right, so I'm not hearing much. I'm gonna take it as we are. Okay, cool. So we're gonna copy this JSON right here. And if you are at this point, what you done is you went inside of this manual view, you added all of the keys. At this point, you're gonna copy this. So like, let's say we're doing plumber. You don't have to do just plumber. You can do more than one thing at the same time. So say I wanted plumbers, lawyers, you know, anything else you want to add. You can actually add multiple of them inside of the same scrape job. I got working on it. Just watch it back some other time. It's probably gonna be 45, 50 minutes longer. But again, if you guys have work in the morning, we can also, all this is going to be recorded, so I'm going to post it all anyways. I'm going to upload it, yeah. Can you overview how to connect the Apify to Make scenario again? Yes, so you go inside of make.com, and at this point, you're going to not have a connection. You're going to see, let me go ahead and delete this guy, Apify, and you're going to look for run an actor, because this is what we're going to be doing at this point. Run an actor, and then you're not going to see a connection yet. You're going to click add connection type. You're going to select Apify recommended, and then you're going to click save, and then you're going to see a window that pops up. This window is going to ask you to sign into your Apify account. That's going to be the one that you created inside of Google, and then you're going to click on your account here, and at this point, it's going to allow access. So click the allow access button. It's going to verify your connection, and then once that's done, that's pretty much it. And then you're going to click the recently used actors. The drop down for this is not going to show your actor at first. You have to go inside of Apify and you have to run the actor and then abort it very, very quickly afterwards. So that's how to do that bit. Cool. All right. Let's see. JSON. Let's go back and grab the JSON of the stuff that we configured manually. And then we are going to paste this JSON inside of, so we're going to select the actor first, and then we're going to paste it inside of this input JSON field. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to do paste as plain text. And what this is it's going to have all of the settings that we configure. So you can see we have maxed places is going to be 10. And then the search string is asking for plumbers. So that's pretty much it. Max cost, we're not going to touch anything outside of here. And I'm going to click save. So just quickly, just to test this, I'm going to click run once on the automation. And then look at that. So it just pulled the run that we had. Let's see here. Run once one more time. And it ran it. Awesome. So we can see when you see this green, that means this automation is actually running the module correctly and it's doing what it needs to do. Now, when you run an actor, it doesn't end there. You have to add another module, and this module is called get dataset items. So you're going to add another node and you're going to type in get dataset items. And when you find that, this dataset ID, you're going to have to map this from the thing that we just ran, and it's going to be this specific field right here. Let me go ahead and find it real quick. Default dataset ID. This is what you're looking for. It's going to be inside of options, default dataset ID. Right here. When you find this, clean transformation, you're going to touch that. Format's going to be JSON. You're not going to touch that. You're not going to touch anything else. Going to click save. And that is it at this point. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click run once, one more time. And now it's going to hit both of them. Let's see what's wrong. Validation parameters. It's missing a required. Let me see. Did I map it correctly? I lied. It might not have been default dataset ID. It might have been this ID field right here. This usage USD. Under it, you're going to see ID. Click save. Run once. I lied again. What's going on here? Let me see. Let me pull it up on the next one. Make sure we have this correctly. So this is the original one. Yeah, it is default dataset ID. So I am not tricking you on the first one. Let me see what's going on here. Let me switch connections. Go back to the first one. Save. Let's try this guy. Oh, gotta map it first. Save, run. What is going on? Why is it not pulling it? I'm gonna copy it here and I'm just gonna paste it manually. Let's see if that does it. So it did it when I pasted it manually, but for some odd reason, it doesn't wanna pull it from the mapping. This is very weird, folks. I've never seen this in my life. Let's go back to the actor. Save and start. Abort. I'm going to jump back here. We're going to copy this. I'm going to just start it one more time. Let's see. Run an actor. Recently used. And then I'm going to paste the new. Paste as plain text. Save. And then we are going to do get dataset ID. All right. Let me run this guy by itself and see if this thing runs. Default dataset. All right, cool. Dataset ID. Oh, that's why. There's two of them. Why is there two of them? This is the weirdest thing ever. You gotta want to click the one right here, not the one at the very top. Why is there two of them? This is the weirdest thing ever. All right, if we run it now, there it is. It worked. This is ridiculous. Yes. So default dataset ID, we got that. Now we can actually move forward and see what we're going to do after that is we're going to add the information to the sheet. So I'm going to jump back to the automation. And then if I expand it real quick, you're going to be able to see, let's see here. Chicago, USA. Let's run it one more time. So for some reason, it's still not pulling. Let's see what that's about. clean JSON. So here, I'm gonna run this guy. Right. Yeah, we're running into a very small thing that I am not sure about real quick. Run once. Okay, I know why. It's because the scraper is not finished. We're gonna add a sleep module inside here. This thing is running while the scraper is still going. So what we're gonna wanna do is add time for the scraper to still continue. That's what it is. Sorry, folks. I completely forgot about this. We're gonna add, let's say, 15 seconds right here. So the module you're gonna look for is called sleep right here. And now at this point, what's gonna happen is when you click run once, it should have the scraping job running in the background. This guy's gonna wait 15 seconds for the scraping to finish, and then it's gonna pull all the data from it. Mine run it doesn't run. It says IML error. One pre-built force, no, don't need. So question, why can't we use the one pre-built for us and then delete the ones we don't need? Or is it easier just building? You can for sure use the pre-built one for sure. But what I'm doing right now is like when you use the pre-built one and then you try to make additions, you're not gonna have any idea where the gears are and what's actually happening. It's not customized at all. And you need to be able to actually build this stuff in order for you to understand where those gears turn inside of the modules. Otherwise, it's gonna break and you have no idea what to break. I'm just showing you guys how to build it from the very get-go, so that way you have your own version of it. But at the end of this live, what I'm gonna do is basically give you that file. Mine is run. It says IML error. I'm trying to figure out why that says IML error. Are you talking about the Apify actor itself? You got it to dataset items. Okay, perfect. Perfect, perfect. So there it is. Look at this. After we did the sleep module, I'm gonna open it up and you can see all of the data right here. We got bundles, 10 of them. So this is what's telling us we got, let's see, let me close these bundles up. So boom, we got 10 bundles. This means 10 locations. This is the same number that we put inside of the JSON right here, 10. So if you change this to 15, you should be able to see 15 bundles right here. And if I open up each bundle, you're gonna see all of the information that was scraped from this. So we can see like we got a company named All Pro Plumbing. We got their address, we got the street, we got the city, we got the state, all these different pieces of information. So at this point, what we're gonna wanna do is jump back into the Google Sheet, and then we're gonna set column titles. So what is it that we wanna grab from the scraper itself? Well, let's see, let's say we wanted a specific place where we want the name of company, we want the city, and we want the zip code, we want the state and website. So we're gonna say company name, city, state, website, and let's see if we're pulling in a phone number as well. So we are pulling in a phone number as well. Any single thing that you can see here is what you can map inside of those Google Sheets module. So I'm going to type in phone number and then company name. What we're going to do at this point is we're going to jump back and connect this Google Sheet inside of make.com. So we're gonna go and we're gonna click this plus sign right here, and then we're gonna click Google Sheet, and it's gonna be add a row. This is gonna be the module that's gonna ask us to create a row inside of that Google Sheet where we're gonna be storing that scrape data. You're gonna do the same thing we did earlier with a connection. So we're gonna click create a connection, and then at this point, this is super easy. You're gonna click sign in with Google. When you click sign in with Google, it's gonna ask you the same thing. Do you want to connect your account? You're gonna select the same Google account that we had earlier. Click continue, and select all at the very top just to give it authorization, and then click continue. And after that, it should give you your connection just like that, good to go. From this point on forward, we're gonna wanna find that sheet specifically. So we named it already YouTube testing. I'm gonna go back in here and I'm gonna click search by path. This is not gonna change. My drive, click here to choose file, and then the file itself, it should be pulling up right now. It's YouTube testing. So I'm gonna click inside of it. Sheet name is gonna be sheet 1. We don't have multiple sheets. And then you have company name, city, state, website, and phone number. Look at this. This is the same column headers that we just added inside of the Google Sheet. Now at this point, all we have to do is just map the things that we scraped from the previous module inside of it. So company name, where does that show up here? If I click on the actual tab, we're just literally gonna find where that's named, which is gonna be this title right here. I'm gonna click title. City, that's gonna be, where is it? So state is right here. Where is city? Right here. City, Chicago. State, let's say Illinois. Website, right here. Phone number, right here. Cool. I just mapped all these little individual variable pieces that we just got from the scraper inside of here. I'm going to click save and then run once. One more time, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to do the scraping. It's going to do that sleep module, pull all the data, and then add it to the Google Sheet. Let's see here. My actor and sleep tools are running. Can you redo the dataset item one? Yes, I can. The dataset item, what you're gonna want to do here is you're gonna want to open up the Apify, and so originally I got tripped up because there's two of them, and the reason why is one of them is completely empty. This default dataset ID, you don't want that one. You're gonna want to scroll down a little bit, and you're gonna see default dataset ID right here. So if you don't see this, the reason why is probably because you did not run this module right here. So before I even connected the sleep module, this guy should be ran at least once. The way we do that is we paste the JSON that we got inside of it. And this is something that we gotten from the scraper itself, from the actor. So right here, we made all the things that we want. We got in the JSON, we pasted it inside of this guy. Cool. We copy that, and this goes here. And then you run this once before anything and click abort very quickly. And then you should be able to see that actor here. You see the actor, you're gonna get all of these settings, click save. And then when you run it one time, then you're gonna connect these two and you should see default dataset ID right here on the bottom. Cool. So let's go ahead and click save, jump back, and look at that. Immediately we see 10 additions into the Google Sheet. So I just ran it. If I open up the Google Sheet, there they are. There's company name, city, state, website, and phone number. This is exactly in those columns that we configured from the scraping data. And you can see there are, there's actually 11 of them. There's not, oh wait, no, there is 10 of them. The first one is the column. But at this point, we just added 4 modules, and you should be at this point where we are pulling data from those Google Maps scrapers and we're putting them inside of the Google Sheet. So at this point, let me jump back into the automation and see, what do we have to do? We have something called a router after that. What does this router do? This router basically routes the automation into different paths based on a specific filter that we set up in the middle of it. So what that looks like inside of this is we're going to set up a filter that says if an email exists, go to this guy. If an email does not exist, go this route. So I'm going to jump back into the automation and we're going to search for a router here. And it's going to look like this. It's going to give you 2 different paths. let me go ahead and put this in the middle. See if there's any questions. Boom. Okay. None so far. Router, you're gonna have two different paths. Obviously, the first one is gonna be, does a website exist? So we're gonna click this wrench in the middle, and I'm just gonna pull up the old one so you can see it. This wrench literally looks like this. You have a label. You can label the filter. It says, does an email exist? And then you set a specific condition for that. This condition is saying, okay, the actual field where there is an email, you map it inside of this guy, and then you set an operator that says this thing has to exist. That's basically what this means. So this tells the filter that if an email exists, I want you to go through this path. And then we do the exact same thing to the other route where we say if a website exists and the email does not exist, so only a website exists, I want you to go through here. The point of the filter is we have different conditions that we set based on the data that we pulled from the Apify scraper. So here in this condition, we're going to say, okay, does a website exist? So we're going to go and find the website, and we're going to set this operator to exists. Question mark, done. And that's it, that's done. So at this point, we are going to set the other filter that's going to say website exists. So, oh wait, this is not website, this is email exists. Let me change it back real quick. Instead of website, we're gonna add, where is it? Oh, that's right, we're not using the email step because we're not doing the email finder at this point. That is an optional thing to do. So we're just gonna keep it at that same route. We're gonna say, does a website exist at this point? So where is it? Just had it. Website exists, cool. And then the other route, we're going to say, does the website not exist? So website does not exist. And then, so we just have to do two different paths. Now, what are we going to do at this point? At this point, we're going to connect our AI model. This is going to be that GPT, that DeepSeek, that API key that we grabbed earlier. And because I grabbed it from inside of DeepSeek, that's the model that we're going to use at this point. So I'm literally just going to search for DeepSeek. And it's going to be this, oh wait, DeepSeek AI. The module that you're going to be looking for is create a chat completion. So create a chat completion, create a connection, and then here is where you're going to paste your API key. That's the thing that we grabbed earlier. So I'm going to grab that. I'm just going to paste it inside of this real quickly. Click save. And after you paste that key, you should be good to go. You should be done. Your connection is established. You're going to have to select a model at this point, and you have two different options. You have a reasoning model and you have a chat model. The only time you're going to use a reasoning model is if you're doing something that is logic heavy. So if you're doing something that involves a little bit of coding or generating something or actually analyzing extensively, you're going to use a reasoning model. Otherwise, it's going to be a chat model. So I'm just going to leave it a chat. And then when you click this drop down for messages, we're going to configure two different roles for the AI. So the way that you configure an AI inside of the automation is you have to give it a system role. This is going to be like its instructions, basically telling it what to do, what not to do, and how to do it. So that's going to be its system prompt. Inside of this guy, I'm going to click system. And then the content for that is going to be basically the instructions for it. So I'm literally going to grab those same instructions and then I'm going to paste them. Let's see here. Well, actually, these instructions in the old one is referring to the first name thing. So we're just going to create brand new ones since we're not using the AnyMail Finder. I'm just going to leave it as it is. At this point, we're going to do custom instructions for the website. So what are we going to tell this thing? We're going to say, okay, you are going to, well, actually, let's go ahead and start by this. You are an intelligent. I'm gonna show you a quick way to actually generate the system prompt without having to fully type it manually. We're literally gonna use ChatGPT to create that. I'm gonna jump back inside of this and we're just gonna go to Chat. Oh, We're going to go to ChatGPT. Brand new one. And I'm going to say I want a system prompt. System prompt for an AI whose job is to analyze the content of a website and then give all of the let's see, go back and see what I used wording for the other one. This point. So this is the thing that we are going to use. It's already typed here. I'm literally going to copy this. And then I'm going to paste it inside of that Google Doc that I showed you guys earlier. So let's see here. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna paste it right here at the bottom so that way you can copy it. Just go ahead and change the bolding of this. All right, here's that first system prompt. You're gonna want to copy this and put it inside of this role at this point. So system, and you're gonna copy that and paste it here inside of the content. So I'm just go ahead and do that real quick. And then we have to configure something called a user role. So what this user role is, basically we're telling it the actual content that the thing is supposed to interact with. This is going to be the actual HTML that it needs to do this. What this system prompt is doing is basically letting it know, hey, you are an expert in writing emails. You have to craft a highly personalized, engaging email based on analyzing a cleaned up version of that website's HTML and integrating key details into the email. So this basically is giving it some instructions on how it should be writing that output that it's going to come out of it, right? We're telling it we want this to be personalized by giving the impression that you've read through their websites. Verbiage, you have to synthesize all the information into a compelling email, and then we're giving it some key objectives, right? We want to personalize it, natural integrations. We want this to be a professional, detailed, neutrality, all of these different things inside of here. And inside of the system prompt is where you're going to want to give it all the little details of what you want it to look for, what you don't want it to look for. This is pretty much an open canvas for you guys to edit, but yeah, I'm just going to give you the same one that I used earlier. And inside of the user prompt, we're going to give it what it should work with. So here we're going to say, here is the HTML you should do this with. Now, let's see here. At this point, we don't have that configured just yet. So what I'm gonna do is go back and configure that bit while we're pulling this. And it's gonna be here, right? So it's gonna be after the Google Sheets, we're gonna do the HTTP node, text parser, and the HTTP node is how we're gonna go out to the website. So we're gonna go back inside of this. I'm gonna disconnect this guy. And then we're gonna say, oh, looks like that deleted the filter. Let's say website exists. Cool. And then if the website does exist, then we are going to search for HTTP. At this point, when you search for HTTP, the thing you're looking for is called make a request. You're going to click make a request. And in the URL field, this is asking you what website do you want to actually go out and grab the information from. So we pulled all of these websites from the Apify scraper. We're going to find the specific website variable, and then we're just going to click it and we're going to map it inside of this. So I'm going to click the website, and this is it. And then what we're going to do inside of here is tell it to get the information. You're gonna use get, and then you're gonna do the website just like that. Everything else should be the same. You're gonna click save, and then just to test this out, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to one of their websites and make sure that it's all working. So that's gonna be, I'm gonna open up the sheet real quick. Let's go ahead and choose maybe this one. I'm gonna copy it, go back to make, and then we're gonna paste it in. I'm gonna right click actually on the HTTP module, and I'm gonna click run this module only, and I'm gonna paste that website right here. So this is a way for us to actually paste this and use it manually without having to run the entire automation. You can right click on it and then paste there. I'm gonna click OK, and that gives me a green, which tells me, okay, we're able to get to that website. The next thing we have to do is click the plus sign, and we're gonna look for the text parser module. So text parser, the thing that we're looking for is HTML to text. So this basically takes the, pretty sure. Yep, HTML to text. So this is what's gonna take the HTML that we just grabbed from this. If I click on the number one, you can see the results of all of these things that we grabbed. And this data thing, this is what we're cleaning up. If I expand this, you're gonna see all of this big ugly thing. This contains all the information of the website, but also the code around it. So what this module does is it cleans that up, gives us only the text for that. We're gonna map this guy right here. So I'm gonna click inside of the HTML module, and I'm gonna click data. So this is gonna be the field that we're mapping here, and I'm gonna click save. And just to show you guys what that looks like here, we're gonna run this manually. I'm gonna click the number one at the top. I'm gonna click data down here. I'm just gonna copy this whole thing and then just run it once by itself to show you the output. I mean, the output is ridiculously long. I'm showing you in comparison how that's gonna look like to the shortened version. Let's see. And boom, there it is. Cool. Copy, I just copied it. I'm gonna right click on this, run once, click data, paste this, click OK. It just ran. Look at the difference, right? We got all of the text. Whoa. Just make sure I am pasting the right thing. Run this module, paste. Yeah, I mean the text is literally too much. It's not even going to show you the whole thing, but yeah, this is what it took in as input, and then it cleaned it up. So the next thing we have to do is connect the AI model that we just connected. I'm going to remove this filter, and then so we already told this AI that it's going to be working with some HTML. So we're going to map that HTML inside of this AI node at this point. I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and it's going to say, here's the HTML you should do this with. If I click after that, you're going to see that HTML text just showed up because we ran it. So I'm going to click that, and then I'm going to click save. And so at this point, what we have is we're scraping, we're sending all the scrape data to Google Sheet. Then we map their website, we're getting their website, we're cleaning up all of the data from their website, and then we're sending it to AI for it to do what it needed to do inside of the system prompt that we just gave it here, right? So system prompt, pasting what I told you inside of the document, and then user, and then we're gonna say, here's the HTML you should do this with. Boom, here it is. DeepSeek chat, leave it at that, save. Let's see here. The next thing we gotta do is we have to provide our service description. This is gonna be something that the next AI is going to use to actually write up the sorry, no, it's not the next AI. It is going to be the actual AI that it's going to use to write up that email, because it's going to have to create a draft. So after the text parser, we're going to add this module called set variable. What this does is it basically stores something, anything that you want, on its own by itself for later use. So this doesn't have to be something that you pulled from previous modules. This is just something that you want to store on your own that you want to use later. So you're going to search for the word set, and it's going to be set variable. So this set variable, you're going to put it inside of the middle here, And then it's going to ask you, okay, what is that variable name? We're just going to say our description, for example. And then the variable value, what you're going to want to give here is literally a description of what it is that you do. So at the point of me building this, obviously it was going to be the AI automation. So that's what I have here. And I actually use GBT to create a description for that at this point. So I'm going to open up one of these old ones, and you can see this is literally a full, big description of what I do. This is what it is, right? This is going to be whatever service you are trying to tell the script business owners that you're going to be reaching out for inside of that field. So here it is. I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to jump back inside of the system, and I'm going to paste that service description right here. You can actually, I'm going to paste this inside of the document as well, so that way you guys can just copy my service description and use that for the purpose of this video. Service description. Pasted it right here. So if you have this document open, here's that. Save. Cool. Done. So at this point, we have our service description. Now we have to feed both into the AI and let it know what it needs to do. So we said, let's see here. Let me drag it. In the user role, here's the HTML you should do this with. And I'm going to click space, or sorry, enter, just to go under it. And I'm going to say, here is our service description of what we do. And then I'm going to map our description field just like we did earlier. So I'm going to click that. And so now this AI has both of them, and it has our prompt about it. So I'm going to click save. And then just to test this out at this point, what I'm going to do is click run on this, starting from this point here. So let's go ahead and just disconnect this. I'm going to take that clock and I moved it here. So this tells the automation I want you to start from this point. And then let's go ahead and just point it to a random website. Let's go ahead and use this one and see how that works. So I'm going to click run once. Oh, wait. That's right. And just for testing, by the way, I'm going to paste the website here. Obviously, we're mapping it from the previous one, but now I'm just going to test it. So I'm just going to map it here real quickly. Run once, and there it is. So it just ran, it pulled the website. Now it's doing it did the parsing. It set, it got our variable. This is our service description. So now the AI should be working. So look at this text parser. Let me show you the output in comparison to the HTML. You remember that very, very big, ugly code? It was condensed to this. And then you have the thing that was generated by DeepSeek. I'm going to open up this number one. And so obviously we can see the result here has a few different things I don't like. It has a subject in it. We don't need that. We only need just the body. It said, hey there, I notice how, boom, handles everything from hydrojetting to flood control. Sounds like your team stays busy keeping Chicago's plumbing running smoothly. My team and I build custom AI that automates repetitive tasks like scheduling, even maintenance. We can set up a free demo to show you how it works. No pressure, just a quick chat to see if this fits. Let me know what's going on. Best your name. We just want the body. We don't want it to include subject inside of this, and we don't want to say your name. So I'm literally going to go back to the system prompt and say, don't include subject and don't include your name inside of your output. Simple as that. Let's go back to down here. Say, don't include a subject and don't include, let's see, it used your name at the end of the email body. Output only the email body itself. And let's go ahead and click save. I'm going to run this one more time just to see the output of that. And we should not see that subject thing that I showed you guys about earlier. So there it is. Okay, I don't like the formatting of it, so it didn't include any spaces. Let's see here if we can change that. So response type. I'm gonna add another instruction at the bottom of this, and I'm gonna say include proper spacing in your email body. Click save. Run once. Oh, let's see what happened. Format missing what? What is it missing? Let's open it up. Did I? Let's try that one more time. All right. So there it is. So, hey, United States join us. You're all about handling any jobs, big or small, or both residential, commercial, with services like hydrating. So it did include the space. It did not put it in the correct place. This is actually a DeepSeek issue, not more of a prompting issue, because when I use the exact same prompts that I showed you guys right now with OpenAI's model, it's able to do it perfectly. So this is literally a DeepSeek issue at this point. I'm not gonna harp too much on it. We're gonna leave it as it is. It's not very important, but you can actually tweak it later and switch this out for OpenAI. But I mean, this is definitely a DeepSeek issue. Open up the other one. What are we doing next? We have the company name shortener. So that's going to be shortening the company's name if it's too long. I'm going to open up this guy right here. And then this is going to be the system prompt for it. So you are an expert company name analyzer. This guy was actually before the drafting. So what I'm going to do literally is just, create a brand new one and add it in there. So I'm going to click clone on this DeepSeek guy. Let me see here. I'm going to click clone on this guy. And then I'm just going to change the system prompt for this. And then I'm going to paste what I had originally in this guy for you guys in that document. So I'm going to copy this. This is the company shortener. Let's see. So company shortener prompt. And here's that. Okay. So I just put it under this for you guys to copy from. We're going to jump back here. And then we are going to make sure that this prompt is inside of the system prompt right here. And then the user prompt for this guy is literally, here is the company's name. And then we're going to map that company's name to it. So let's see. So we're going to say, here is the company's name. And obviously, because I disconnected this earlier, we're not going to be able to see it. So I'm just going to connect it one more time. And then as soon as I reconnect this, we should be able to pull the company's name from that. So there it is. There's everything back. Company's name is right here. So it's going to be title. Title. I'm going to click on this guy, and here it is. So this now is done. I'm going to click save. Let's just make sure we got everything right. And inside of this guy, I'm actually going to map the company's name here from the shortened guy. So I'm going to say, here is the company's name. So that way it knows to use the shortened version of it. When I click that, you guys are going to see this new DeepSeek module that we just created is completely empty. The reason why it's empty because we haven't ran it yet. But the thing that's going to contain the company's name is the result. So you're going to want to click this result. And when you click this result, these are going to be the three pieces of information that the email draft creator is going to have. It's going to have the HTML cleaned up, the company's name shortened, and our service description. And then I'm going to click save, and then we are pretty much good to go at this point. So I'm going to jump back to the other automation. We'll see what it is that we have to set up. So we set up this guy, we set up the scraper, and then we have to have the draft finalizer. So this one's basically going to finalize the draft. Let's see. It's going to finalize the draft of the previous draft that was written out of this AI module. So I'm literally going to copy this system prompt and give it to you guys inside of the sheet. Let me just look over it real quick because we have something mapped here. Okay, this is cool right here. Look at this. Inside of the system prompt, we're telling it exactly how it should be, talking when it finalizes this draft. We're telling it always to include transitions like I believe I have something that can make, and then here we're actually mapping that company name variable inside of it to say that we want to use that shortened company's name, and we're going to say life's much easier or any variation similar to this. Here we're literally giving it specific directions on how it should sound when writing the new version of the draft. And I did this here because I wanted to just give it an example of that. When you give examples of things of how you want them to sound in the system prompt, the AI is going to use that example inside of the output that it generates for you for whatever you want. So actually before this, because I'm going to give it to you, I'm going to say company name. And then here you can map it inside of the system prompt when you actually do use it. So I'm going to click cancel here, Mr. Draft Finalizer. I'm going to go back to that sheet and give it to you guys here. Let's see. Draft Finalizer. I'm just going to put some lines between these so that way you don't get them confused. All right. Here's the system prompt for that. And all right, cool. Let's jump back. And then we are going to, so now what we have is we have that field with the written updated. Let's see, I'm going to clone this guy. I got to create it here as well. So let me copy it. And I'm going to paste it here. Click save. So what do we have to do inside of the user prompt? Well, the user prompt is going to be this. We're only telling him the email inside of the user prompt. The reason why is because inside of this automation, this version of it, the draft finalizer is going to be using somebody's name that we pulled from the email. So we're telling it, hey, this is going to be that person's email because you're going to be able to use that name. Obviously, inside of this version that we're building together, we're not using the email finder. So there's no reason for it to actually use that, person's name inside of this email. But if you are wanting to use the email finder bit, here's where you're going to be able to map the email from the first name guy right here, which, essentially found the first name from the guy from that email. And we're going to jump back inside of this guy. Content. Let's see. Well, we actually don't have an email here. So I'm just going to leave that out. Okay, and then we're going to map the email itself from the previous draft. Here is the draft. And then we map the DeepSeek draft from the previous module that wrote it. You guys can see that right here. And click save. Just got a class, move it up. So I see people talking in the group chat about a group chat. 100%, 100%, we can make that. Yes, and if you guys want to make group chats with each other about this, I'm so happy for you guys to do that. And you want to add me into it, I can answer questions for you. But at this point, we pretty much built the very first route for this. I'm gonna click this run once from the very beginning, just to show you guys what it all looks like. And then here we are going to, let's see, I'm gonna add that condition one more time and see website exists. Where is the website? Exists, save, and then I'm gonna click run once, and you're gonna be able to see the scraper from the beginning run. It's gonna pull the data set of the items. I'm gonna go back to the sheet. I'm actually just gonna completely erase everything here, so that way it does it from the beginning. You're gonna be seeing it all run in real time. Let's see here. Oh, it looks like the delay was not long enough this time. It took a little bit longer. I'm gonna change it to 25 seconds, and then I'm gonna run it one more time. All right. So to anybody that's building together right now, where are you guys at? Is anybody behind? Is there any questions that I can answer? All right, so we just went through all of these steps right here. And now it's at the draft finalizer bit. Boom, we're done. Everything just went through from beginning to end. I'm gonna open up the very last thing. We can see the result of that. Oh, it's giving us some additional instructions here that says, here's your revised email, this version. I'm going to tell it inside of the system prompt not to do that. But here's the final email. Hey, you added sewers and drains. Just to glitch your website. And I got to say 24/7, da-da-da. I believe I have something that can make life much smoother. The reason why I'm emailing you is because I help sewer and drain companies automate the busy work, like customer replies, scheduling follow-ups. That way your team spends less time or admin on admin work and more time doing what matters. If this matters to you, this sounds like good, I'd love to hop on a quick call. Boom. What we just did is, look at this. Look at this. We're doing this for every single one, by the way. I don't know if you guys can see it, but um, it's writing this draft for every single thing that we scraped from this job. I'm actually going to pause it because I don't want it to go through the whole thing. But look here. Messages. We can see. Look at this. Lopez. Operation 2, the United States people, and then Operation 1, it looks like it pulled it twice for some odd reason. If I go back to the Google Sheet, yeah, it was still running through them all and pulling them through. But yeah. So at this point, let's see, we can help each other. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Discord. Right now, I'm building a Wigo, but I don't know. What I don't know, I leave it blank. I'll fill them in later. Okay, cool. We have just built the very first route for this guy. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to map the final result of that email inside of the Google Sheet. So that way it goes to the specific row where that data exists. What I'm going to do at this point is click for Google Sheets, and then we're going to search for the module called update a row. What this is going to work to do is this is going to take that draft that was written for the company that we wrote for earlier, and it's going to put it in the specific row where it belongs inside of this Google Sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a brand new column here, and I'm going to name this column transcript. And this is where we're going to be putting in the transcript that belongs to each business. So jump back into the automation here. Let's see. Exit out of this. And then we're going to click update a row. And then we're just going to select the same sheet that we selected earlier. So we're going to click My Drive, click here to choose file, And then here's the sheet itself. Sheet name is going to be sheet 1. And so here it's asking us, what row do you want to update? Well, if we go back to this Google Sheet module right here, we are adding a row. Every time you add a row inside of the fields for that row, you're going to get all the metadata for the row, including the row number. So each row number that you see here is going to be pertaining to that specific thing that was added to that row. And you guys can see, like, here we're adding these pieces of information. So every time you add information to a row, you're getting what row number that thing is getting added to. So we can see that this information here was added to row 2. If I pull up the sheet itself and I see row 2, that tells me this scrape job for 24-hour emergency plumber was added to row 2. So now what I'm going to do is literally map the row number that we got out of this Google Sheet module inside of here. So I'm going to click choose to add file, and I'm going to select the sheet itself one more time. Sheet name is going to be sheet 1, and then the row number is going to be, I'm going to scroll all the way down and I'll see the Google Sheets module right here. I'm going to select row number 2. So what this just did is it told it, hey, I want you to add that transcript to this specific row. And that specific row pertains to the row where we collected the data from earlier. And it's only going to do that where that data exists for that specific row, for each specific thing that we scraped. Scroll down here, you're going to see that transcript field for the columns. And here we're just going to map the transcript that we gotten from the previous DeepSeek module. I'm going to click on the previous DeepSeek module and put it inside of here, which tells it, here's what I want you to put the transcript from. I'm going to click save. And then I'm just going to update the system prompt one more time to make sure it outputs only the body. So I'm going to jump back into the system prompt and say output only the body, no additional comments or messages around it. Click save. I'm going to click save right here. And boom, we should be good to go at this point. So now what I'm going to do is actually run this from the beginning and see what needs to show you guys what needs to happen. We should now get transcripts inside of this transcript field when we run this from the beginning. So go back, click run once. And now it's doing the scraping. It's going to do the sleep, and it's going to get all the data from the scrape job that we did earlier. It's going to add all of that pieces of information in the Google Sheet. And then it's going to go one by one to the website that we pulled from the scrape. It's going to clean up all the HTML around it, make it look pretty. And then it's going to pull our service description along with the HTML, send it to the first AI so that way it knows what it needs to do and actually write that draft, then sends it to another AI to make that draft final. And then once that draft is final, it should add that transcript in the Google Sheet pertaining to that specific row. So I'm going to open up this sheet right now, and we'll see it getting filled up for the first one. And then here, we should see the transcript populate. Let's take a look to look at some comments before we actually do this. So here it is. This is the very first transcript. You can see it's directed to United Sewer and Drains. If I go back and say, oh wait, I know. Wait. No. We did one tiny mistake, folks. The reason why it did that is because if I open up the HTTP module, we forgot to change this guy. This is still hard-coded. This is not mapped to that website that we pulled earlier. Don't make the same mistake as me. I'm going to go back and I'm going to remap the same website back to it inside of this. So that way it actually does it for the websites that we're scraping instead of the one that I showed you. I'm going to click save, jump back into the Google Sheet. We're going to do it one more time. Otherwise, we're just going to see the exact same transcript over and over again. Not good. Jump back to the integration, run once, and let's see here. All right, go back to the automation. All right, Guys, let me know where you're at, by the way. I know some of you guys are on the sheet right now building some of this stuff. I want to know which step you're on. Let me open up the sheet so that way we can see this stuff happening. So we can see the transcript right now should be directed to these people. There they are. So boom, just checked your website. I gotta say, I love how you do this. All right, cool. Now we can confirm that it's actually being directed at the people it needs to be directed at, which is great. Now let's see if it's doing it for the rest of them. It should do it for each one. Three, awesome. Yep. Look at that. All router, hydrojetting. So it's not, so this is one of the things where it's using the, like this is like a very, very long name. It's not using the full name. Hey, all router hydrojetting. This is why we had that company name shortener, because it would have been really, really awkward if we were using the entire full name. And then look at this. Just take a look at your website. I gotta say the way you prioritize service, clear pricing for Chicago's plumbing, da da da. And there we are, folks. We are now at a working MVP for all this stuff. And it's still running, by the way. The reason I can tell it's still running is because this number is going to keep going up until it hits 10, because we told the scraper inside of the configuration that we want 10 systems. So it's just going to keep doing it until we hit all 10 of them. I'm not going to make you wait and see all 10, but I'm going to take this as a chance to see if I can answer some questions or see where you guys are at in the build. Let's see. All right. Is anybody not at this point, or has anybody reached this point? Okay. All right. Let's see. Next thing. All right. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna stop the automation so that way we don't get forced to watch all 10 of them. But you should be at a point where you are getting these transcripts created. I'm gonna click save at this point. And let's see where we need to do. For this, pretty much the rest of it is repetitive. I'm not gonna make you guys build the entire thing for these rows. I'm literally just gonna give you this file so that way you can have the full system prompts and the configurations, and all you gotta do is connect your stuff. But you got to build the very, from the beginning to connecting the Apify, creating your accounts. The AnyMail Finder is totally optional for you guys. You can remove it, but I showed you the purpose of why we're using AnyMail Finder is because we want to pass those domains inside of here, and then we're going to be able to actually target those company names. But at this point, if you wanted to use the same build that we just built inside of the live, you should be at a point where you can run this and get to the point where we're at right now. And yeah, let's see. I think we are at time. Could we automate to actually send the emails out, or we just copy and paste each one and manually send them separately? Yes, you can absolutely automate to send the emails out on its own. That bit right here is going to be, I'm going to show you guys right now in the live, just because I feel like this is going to be something that is very good for you guys to see right now, and a lot of people are going to ask about it later. I'm just going to show you it right now. It's a little bit of a weird thing we have to do, but don't worry, you're just gonna see this step by step for it right now. Let me pull it up right here. There's a specific script that you're gonna have to use inside of the Google Sheet, and that script is gonna do exactly that. Let me just pull up the actual script right here. Boom. All right. So I actually put together this specific step-by-step last time, so that way you guys can see how this stuff works. But basically, and I'm also gonna give you this file to do this as well. You're gonna have this little thing that you have to essentially copy, okay? And what you're gonna want to do is inside of the Google Sheet, you're gonna open up the sheet itself. Where is that sheet? Let's see. Sheet just disappeared. There it is. You're gonna open up the sheet right here. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to extensions and you're gonna go to app scripts. And when you go to app scripts, this is where you're gonna wanna paste the thing that I'm gonna give you. So you should see this page. When you're at that page, again, one more time, you're gonna click extensions and you're gonna click app scripts. When you do that, you're gonna get this page where this is where you're gonna be able to paste that script that I just showed you, that I just pulled up. Let's see here. Okay. So the way that you send it is not going to be in the exact same module. We're actually going to create a brand new scenario here. We're going to add a brand new workflow because you're not going to be able to send it from the exact same one. This is something totally different. I'm going to show you how to work that. Create a new scenario at this point, and what you're going to want to search for is webhooks. This webhook is basically an address that whenever something changes inside of the Google Sheet, it's going to send that change and the information from it to this address right here. So you're going to click webhook, and then you're going to click custom webhook. Here you're going to click create a webhook, and you're going to copy the address that it gives you. So it's going to ask you to name it. You don't have to actually name anything, or you can just name it whatever. Click save. You're going to want this address right here. Click copy address to clipboard. I'm just going to put it in a note here on the side, so that way we can use it later. Boom. Okay. So I'm going to open up that sheet one more time and show you. So boom, we just created that webhook. Now here is that script for the webhook. We have to paste that inside of here. And we have to remove the brackets when we paste it. So you're going to see this. It says let's see. So starting from this guy, and you're going to paste the webhook here. So I'm literally going to paste this. I'm going to copy it. Oh, I'm going to copy it from here. Wait, why does it say do not? Okay. Just want to make sure I'm copying the right place, because I think the instructions I left. Yeah, no, we're gonna yeah. This is what you're gonna want to do. Sorry, boys, I had to take a second look at it. You're gonna copy from here, from this guy all the way across this, even this do not touch below. Took me a second to find it, but you're gonna go back inside of the automation. You're gonna do this thing that I told you about, extensions, app scripts, and then you're gonna paste it inside of here. So you're gonna click Control A, and then you're gonna paste everything here. Once you have this pasted, you're gonna see this exactly like I am. Your webhook URL goes here. This is all you gotta do, is just take this with the brackets, delete it, And then we're going to go back to the webhook itself that we made. We're going to get that address. We're going to jump back into this, and then we're going to paste this right here. Boom. Just like that. Once you do this, at this point, you're going to click the Save Project to Drive button. And then you are done at this point. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to this trigger tab on the left side. So click on this menu button, and we're going to click trigger. And then we're going to click add a trigger. And this guy is just going to be, let's see, watch changes, head from spreadsheet on edit. Save. Jump back to the sheet itself. So triggers, add trigger, watch changes, head from spreadsheet on edit. And then once that's done, you are good to test it out. So yep, I'm gonna click save at this point, and it's just gonna ask you to click on your account. You're gonna click on your account, click advanced, and then go to untitled project, and then scroll down a little bit, click allow, and that should be it. So what we just did is we put something inside of the Google Sheet that told it every time we make a change inside of it, we report those changes to this make.com scenario. Now from here, we're going to want to test it out. So I'm going to jump back to the sheet itself. I'm going to delete all of this stuff except for that first row. And then I'm going to add a checkbox here. So inside of this column, let's go ahead and make this a little bit shorter. Let's see. Add a text box, and this text box is gonna say checkbox. Oh, actually, I don't want to put it here. I don't know why this is taking up all the space despite it being very weird. Anyways, I'm gonna add a column that says checkbox here. And then we're gonna click on it. We're gonna click on tools. We're gonna click on data. And then here, we're gonna do data validation. Right here, data validation. And then you're going to add a rule. This rule is just gonna say a box, a checkbox. So instead of drop down, we're gonna click on the criteria and we're gonna switch it down to checkbox. And then from checkbox, we're gonna click done. And let's see here. So you can see we got a checkbox from this. Now I'm gonna test it. So we have the script written here. I'm gonna jump back to make.com. I'm gonna click run once here. So now what we're doing is it's listening for all those changes that would be happening inside of the Google Sheet. I'm gonna go back to the Google Sheet, click the checkbox, jump to the automation, and we should see this light up here with those changes if we configured everything correctly. Let's see. Okay. Let's make sure we have the right webhook here. Try that one more time. Copy address, save. And then we'll make sure the trigger is good to go. Watch changes. On edit, save. Let's see. Anybody else getting errors on app scripts? If you're getting an error on app scripts, it's probably because it's your browser. So you're gonna want to have to open it up in a different browser, whether that's Microsoft Edge or if you're not using Chrome right now. Chrome always has this issue. I have it all the time. So yeah, open it up in a different browser, and then you're not gonna be able to see that error no more. Let's see what's happening here. Testing. Try that one more time. I'm gonna go back to the automation actually. We're gonna run it. And then yeah, and I know it's probably getting pretty late for a lot of you guys, so this is probably the last thing that I'm gonna show you. As hopefully we can get it to work so that way it stays still, but if not, I'm probably gonna revisit this one. Okay, so we got a checkbox here. I'm gonna exit out of the automation and then we're gonna click the checkbox. Yeah, it looks like there is something wrong with this. Maybe the process got updated, but I'm gonna have to probably revisit this bit at this point, and I'll probably make its own separate video about it. But yeah, I don't want to hold you guys too much. I know we've been going on for almost 2 hours now, which is ridiculous. This is crazy. But hopefully you guys were able to get to the point where you can, see this. As for the file itself for the actual build, I'm probably gonna post it on my story so that way you guys can download it. And I showed you how to actually import it. You're gonna click those three dots. You're gonna click import blueprint, and then you're gonna choose the file. You're gonna download it, and you're gonna paste the file inside of there. From there, all you're gonna have to do after you import it is basically add all of your connections. You have to make sure that all of those connections are created because it's gonna be based off of anything I showed you. And yeah, I know it's just kind of like all over the place today, just because first time actually going through, and I didn't think it was gonna take too long. But obviously there's a lot of explaining to do. Um, Anybody that's following along and actually building, if you have some questions and you want to go through everything, make sure you send me DM. I'm gonna try to chop this up and edit it. I might as well probably just re-record the entire build and make it its own separate video, just because it was kind of all over the place. But we'll see about that one. And it let me open it on Microsoft Edge. Awesome. No worries, man. No, I wasn't able to get to that watch changes on this stream, but I'm probably gonna make its own dedicated video on that one because the last time I did it, that's why I put together that document and I made sure that those instructions were proper. But maybe that changed, so I'll go ahead through and I'll update it. And yeah, boys. Thanks for tuning in. I know it's kind of like all over the place. Hopefully, I can make these better in the future for you guys, so that way it's more directed and not taking too long. But yeah, I will see you boys in the next one, hopefully.